is a big game hunter. So he is, when Jay says something, it's true. So Jay Glazer was on Pat McAfee this morning, talked about Aaron Rodgers. He said, I know Aaron still wants out, without a doubt. Absolutely, still wants out. Every time somebody called the Packers, it was immediately shut down. What these teams need to do is continue to call and continue to call. So it's interesting because Aaron's approach to this, we talked about this yesterday, is very much been deniability. Jerry Jones was once asked, why aren't you on social media? And he said, I want deniability. I don't want to put anything down. Aaron's never getting quoted for any of this stuff. But never forget, April 29th is the biggest day and the biggest weekend for all NFL teams in the offseason, day one of the draft. That's the biggest day for the Packers offseason. On that day, Aaron Rodgers or somebody connected to him leaked to multiple star reporters, I'm unhappy, I want out. Now, we know the Packers didn't leak it, because why would they create that kind of chaos and mayhem going into their biggest weekend of the offseason? Aaron did it right at the start of the draft. 10 minutes before, 3 great reporters, all trustable, all reliable, had the same exact information. Folks have been in this business 30 years. Doesn't work that way. It's always staggered. One guy's got it here, one guy an hour later. All 3, same time, boom. Somebody on that side leaked it. So Aaron now was not quoted doing it. Aaron wouldn't talk to Mike Tirico at the Kentucky Derby. Hawaii, he's just having fun. And yesterday, he was very glib and very casual and very indifferent. Here's a sample from him being on that golf match with Brady and Bryson DeChambeau and Mickelson.
You're having a great time. You've really kept a low profile this offseason. I've hardly seen your name at all. You haven't hosted any TV shows or been involved in any kind of controversy or anything. It's been a nice, peaceful offseason for you, it sounds like, KR.
It's been, thank you, BA. It's been one of those quiet off seasons you just dream about, where you can just kind of go through your process on your own quietly. And, that's all you can ask for as an older player in the league and someone who's been around for a long time and just enjoys that time to yourself, to just relax, to not be bothered, to not have any obligations or anything going on. And, I think that's what this off season's been about. It's been about really enjoying my time and spending it where I want to spend it and not feeling like I have to go anywhere, not having any responsibilities, but still being an NFL player.
He's coming off very happy, very casual, just kind of indifferent. But remember, he's the one on draft day, his side dropped the bomb. And now Green Bay's got to clean it up. So there was always tension in this relationship, right? Like all relationships, husband, wife, you have tension. That's not the end of it. But if my wife served me papers from a lawyer this morning, all right, that changes the temperature in the room. That's kind of what Aaron did. He had his lawyer serve papers. I refuse to play here. That changes everything. That's different from, could you give me a heads up on my quarterback coach? Could you give me a heads up on Jordy Nelson? That's a couple having a little fight over allowance for one of their kids. That's not a game changer. What Aaron did on draft day messes up the biggest weekend for the Packers or any team. That's serving papers. That's signing up a lawyer and serving your papers and trying to humiliate you. You serve papers when I'm at lunch with my friends. That's trying to humiliate you. You can serve papers a lot of times. Serve it. He's at lunch right now, serving papers in front of his buddies. So that's what Aaron did. So now he can be all casual and jokey, but according to Glazer, he wants out. This is serious business. He's presenting, because he's not quoted in any of this, he's got all this culpability. He could say, if they won't trade him. But I think it's fascinating. People have said to me, God, you guys talk Aaron Rodgers. He's the MVP of the league. He's one of the 3 most important players in the league. And essentially, he has told a legendary franchise, Jay Glazer, I'm out. It's over. And I've always said if Jordan Love could play, this is very solvable. If Green Bay looks at all this stuff, and they may have to make a determination at some point if Aaron truly will hold out, that can Jordan play? If Jordan can play, I'll go back to my theory on this is they want him in the AFC. They don't want him to come back and burn him. You do not want Tom Brady coming back to burn you. So when Tom Brady chooses Tampa, I mean, for New England, it's a little bit of a, okay, if we do meet him, it's in the Super Bowl. We'll be fine with that. So, you know, when Belichick traded Garoppolo to the Niners, if we do meet him, it's in a Super Bowl. And I think Green Bay looks at it that way. If we have to face him, he's got to get through Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, you know, Lamar Jackson, all these great players. But Jay Glazer said, just keep calling. Just keep calling. So I think the team we all think makes sense, and it does, is Denver. They've got 2 pass rushers. They've got a very interesting roster, a Pro Bowl left tackle. They have good backs, excellent young receivers, a really good tight end. Denver is that team that, and Tampa, by the way, became that team. God, if Tampa could just get the quarterback right. You can roll your eyes when I say this, but if Denver can just get the quarterback right, that's a Super Bowl potential team. And you laugh at that. But Denver's had a lot of success recently and forever. I've been watching the NFL since since 1972. Denver's mostly been good. And they got multiple Super Bowls. They got Super Bowls with Elway. They got one with Peyton Manning. And even when they weren't great at quarterback, Jake Plummer, they were interesting. They were around. So they've had good coaches, great player. They have a good roster. You know, you think about Tampa. Tampa, their history is a mess. I mean, Brady's the first great quarterback they've ever had. And he, just by joining them, I mean, very few people thought, oh, Tampa's winning the Super Bowl. I said, wild card team, be fun. And it changed everything. Aaron Rodgers to Denver, that's a really good football team. Now, I know Mahomes in the same division. Now, I get it. But by the way, when Brady went to Tampa, Drew Brees in the same division, Matt Ryan in the same division. Those are good players. He's going to get Hall of Fame votes, or, you know, Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer. Sean Payton's a Hall of Fame coach. So this is, Denver feels right to me. And, you know, there's just not that many teams, Joy. There's not many teams that the young teams have their young quarterbacks. Cincinnati's got theirs, and Cleveland has theirs, and Buffalo has theirs, and Kansas City Chargers have theirs. So you can take off about 10 teams, they have their young quarterback. Then there's another 10 to 15 teams that have a quarterback like a Dak. You're locked in financially. There's not many teams in this league that really need a quarterback. There's probably about 6 you could argue, 5 or 6. And there's not, I mean, Denver is right there.
Well, also, they don't want to send him to anywhere in the NFC.
Yeah, so AFC.
So that eliminates an entire conference of options.
And Denver's got 2 pass rushers. Green Bay wanted J.J. Watt, couldn't afford him.
It's not the only situation that's being eyed for a quarterback. We just saw the story the other day that Deshaun Watson would like to go to Denver. It's there's obviously a desirable location.
And by the way, Aaron Rodgers, when he found out, remember, Mark Schlereth reported that Broncos wanted him. Aaron reached out to Mark, probably because Aaron's like, it's close enough to the West Coast. They got a good Tom Brady, when he was first called by Tampa, remember what Jason Light and Bruce Arians said? Tom knew their whole roster.
Yeah.
Tom